I imagine those trolls can smell us.
Where? Oh, you mean past the troll room? Okay.
Yeah.
So I forgot to hit the start streaming button until just now. So just to recap for when I never watch this ever again. The party went downstairs, saw some trolls, killed a few, stinking clouded. They ran off. A giant showed up. The party retreated back through their mirror, and now they're in Dodge's house talking about what to do.
Don't forget about the part where your code had problems.
No, we're skipping that. That never happened.
What the minion that was with the giant, like we saw the avatar, but do you feel it was accurate, or can you describe?
Oh, you saw? Yeah, it was pretty big itself. Not as big as the giant, but it was very large and it had 2 heads. You've seen things like it before. Etten.
Houston wants to shop around for that 3rd level fireball now they don't know knows it exists.
Sure, 900 gold.
Pocket change.
I would also try to learn that.
900 gold. Or if Houston learns it, copy it from him. I don't know. I'm not exactly sure how that works. To tell you the truth. Yeah, your 4th level fireball spell. Land Scraper. It's even more area of effect.
Blow up the entire dungeon.
Or Fireball Volley, which is the dumbest spell. You can do 1 fireball around, and each one does 3d6. What just blew up? Something just blew up. No? Oh, thought it did.
What's the 2nd level fireball spell? Flaming Sphere?
No, it's like Fireball Sidewinder 2, maybe. I don't know.
Oh, okay.
How's the duration? 1 fireball per round. Duration of spells 1 round. Oh, 1 per 3. Yeah, so you could cast 2 whole 3d6 fireballs. That spell sucks.
Which one? Fireball Volley?
Yeah, at least until you're way higher level. In which
And
case,
in a
why
tower during a siege or something.
Yeah, when 3d6 actually matters. That's the problem. A lot of these spells just don't scale with the low damage, like they would in 2e, where not everything has the where nothing has the 20-point kicker. I mean, the average foot soldier in 2e is like 5 hit points. If you get up to 9th level, you can get Fireball Lava Yield. Honestly, it's probably not worth a 9th level spell slot. It just does d12 damage instead of d4s or whatever. Anyway.
Alright, do we want to go to the part with the ogres? The part we were just at? Or is there another section we haven't been to? My preference would be go back from whence we came.
What do you mean by go back from whence we came?
The place we just were.
Back into the arms of your gods.
I mean, I think going back is good, but we need a plan for sure.
put down a well. I was gonna say I could put down like a wall of acid, but they would just retreat down their hallways again. Although maybe it would like trickle down.
Or maybe web. I mean, it's over with those with that much strength. Probably only slows them a bit, but web and then fireball them.
Doesn't seem like they're gonna rush towards us again.
Yeah, I mean they likely will have a different plan as well. I think it's important we strategically put the portal for sure.
How do you whisper at the DM? Is it
Just
slash?
use Discord.
Okay.
I never noticed it in the game.
I was just gonna say my first level spell slots are off again. I can only memorize 5.
Let me reset the day anyway. I assume you're not going back the same day.
Right.
Correct.
I thought you were able to fix this yourself, though.
I don't think so. It doesn't. It says I can only know. It says I can know 6, but I can't.
Which
make
one,
the numbers
Histon
add
or
up to 6.
Wickle?
Histon, yeah.
Yeah, you can know 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Right, and I can't make it go up.
Okay, how about now?
There it goes.
Hooray! Underground awesome guy thing. Best skill. All right. I'll sit here and stare awkwardly at the camera.
I want to go back and try to polymorph that giant. That sounds really fun. Throw some fire at
I think so too.
the trolls. Wickle can learn a ton of fireballs.
Just for the fun of it, this is not like the time where you guys didn't think you'd be able to go back through your portal, even though you had a potion of gaseous form. Just to be clear, but you might want to take stock of the massive amounts of shit you have in your bags of holding, because some of it could be useful. I don't know. You got potions, you got scrolls. I mean, what good do they do you if they just sit there all the time? Maybe this is the sort of fight you'd want them for. I don't know.
I'm just looking at to see what spells I have that might be useful in this situation.
Histon's ready to go back. A lot of great second level spells. Invisibility and Stinking Cloud are really the only ones I use.
It's true. I actually like a lot of the first through third level spells better than the fourth and fifth.
I was gonna say there's a ton of great second level spells.
Name some.
Fourth and fifth have some good ones, but they're a lot more situational a lot of times.
Spell planner, magic user, blindness, blur.
That's true. Hank doesn't have to take all the heals.
Blindness touch.
Cloud of pummeling fists.
Sounds fun.
Disable foot.
That's
That
actually a
sounds
great
amazing.
spell.
How my foot's been disabled.
It's
No,
worse than that, dude. It's pretty nasty.
It does
Hold
like
on,
a
let me
flat
flip to it.
percentage of your hit points. I don't even know if there's a save, and now
Disable
your foot just
foot.
doesn't work.
Saving throw negates. Creature takes amount of damage equal to 10% of its normal hit point total if it has 2 legs. Injured foot or appendage will remain useless until the damage associated is fully healed. Further, they suffer movement penalty modifiers as described elsewhere.
You can cast it twice, one for each
Yeah.
foot.
Yeah.
20% guaranteed.
Cripple giant. I think it's a necromancy spell, though.
It's a necromancy spell. I don't know if you can't take those. I'm just
I think only if it has the vengeance keyword.
fire telekinesis.
That sounds awesome. What is that?
That one kind of sucks, I think.
I'm just going through ones that look like they might be interesting based
It
on
lets
just
you
the
it
name.
lets you move fire around.
Oh, I have seen that one. Yeah.
Yeah, just anyone can get disable foot.
That's weird because it's marked like it's in this book, but it's not.
I mean, they're all in fantasy grounds.
Yeah.
Everything except druid spells. I never got around to doing those because it's a whole thing.
Ice knife. Mirror image.
That's one I'm planning on taking.
Munt's bolt of acid.
If you look in fantasy grounds, that one's Melf's acid arrow in here.
Sure.
All right, here's the plan. We go back to the slavers' temple. We get that flamethrower that we disabled. We attempted to. We fix it, and we use that. That mobile cart flamethrower.
Why don't we go fight that one giant you wanted to fight a while ago out in the fields as like a test run?
Well, I mean, I didn't really want to fight him. I wanted the water of life, and then we got the mirror almost immediately after that. We were able to. I mean, the only reason I wanted to go back was to find out who hired him, so we knew who was fucking around with the water of life stuff.
I mean, we knew who was fucking around with the water of life stuff. We killed him.
Right, but clearly stuff happened after that. That when we went there and the shades were in there, that was
Yeah.
after we killed that guy. So I think
That doesn't mean he didn't put it up before we killed him.
perhaps, certainly perhaps. I don't know why that giant. I mean, obviously he seemed like a hired gun. How long would you stay? Because that was weeks later. How long would you stay if you weren't being paid? I don't know that giant would stay very long. So I mean, I think someone else was taking up the mantle.
That disables foot spell available, Derek.
Nope.
And that's not like a touch spell. That's like you cast it from far.
It's 10 foot.
Oh, you want to get within 10 feet.
Wow, that's a good point.
Someone's chasing you and you need to get away.
You know the trick to delivering touch spells, though, is
Also, disable
you
foot is 10
combo it with a
yards.
spectral hand spell.
It was 10 yards, not 10 feet.
Oh, okay. That's not so bad.
Yeah, it's
Yeah, 30 feet's not bad at all.
It'd be ironic if it was 1 foot.
well,
All right, I've got max lightning bolts, mostly max fireballs. I'm ready to roll. Polymorph.
What are you gonna polymorph them into?
I don't know. Think of it on the fly.
That's the Histon we know and love.
Hitting.
Planning's for nerds.
Okay, well, if we're going back down there, let's go back down there.
I mean, heck, summon some elementals on your side. All right, well, I'm assuming a day's passed, so feel free to... Probably actually 2 days, because you were buying scrolls and learning them. Trying to learn them anyway. Oh, excuse me.
How much was that locket I used to imbue with permanent light?
20... Oh, like as cheap as you wanted it to be. Literally any object. You could have done it on a stone.
No, I
Where would
wanted to be able
Histon
to
get
open
access
and
to
close.
stones?
Oh, I don't know.
It's fine.
A gold. Like
pay-
if
yeah.
you don't care about the quality of the metal, not a lot.
I mean, do we want to do anything preemptive like scouting, invisible, anything like that?
We could just you wanna go in invisible with spider climb. How long does spider climb last? Suppose you could just fly too.
Super lame.
Can Histon cast that on other people? Spider climb and fly?
Yes. I don't know about fly.
Spider climb would be 10 minutes. Fly would be 1 to 2 hours.
Yeah.
And yes, fly is touch.
Well, you want me to go flying around in there invisible?
Sure. Sounds fun.
All right, so
You want the good invisibility? You want to be able to do stuff?
I think that's probably best.
All right. And I can't polymorph.
Well, I mean, I don't. Okay, so the question would be if we would want to try and go back then again, like today, or wait till the next day after.
You're definitely at least a day later.
I'm
You guys-
saying,
you guys-
I'm saying,
Saying the day of the scouting.
yes.
Oh, I gotcha. Okay, I'm sorry.
Well, so that brings up a big question. If you go through the mirror to scout and come back through the mirror, yes, it has to be a day later. We can't scry to the same spot twice.
I thought we determined you could if it was successful, or at least in the vicinity. And in theory, one of the things that we'd be scouting would be further up the tunnel.
What further up the tunnel to do what? Hold on. What is your plan about going further up the tunnel?
Well, I thought that that's where that's what we want to investigate. That's our best lead as far as where the gems are. Right.
Okay.
So if we can smash and grab like we did with those statues, might be the best plan. Rather than trying, because the only other thing I see as a possibility is trying to whittle down their forces like Histon was suggesting. And I just think that is eventually they're going to come up with some kind of plan that we're not going to be ready for, ambush us in some way that we're going to be in real trouble real quick. But I mean, go ahead.
There were not an overwhelming array of forces in front of us just there. Why don't we just kill what's there?
Okay.
Is there something I've seen in that regard?
I don't know why we would think that that's all there was. I mean, if the story is to be believed, and granted, this is 20 years ago, so who knows what it's like now. I mean, they had essentially a group on either side to try and hold them off while one group pressed down the middle, right?
Yeah.
Maybe it was just those few trolls, the giant and the Atten. But if it's more, I mean, I don't know. It's a lot of risk. I mean, that's part of why I would want to scout. If it is that, you're right. I mean, ultimately, we just try and take it on. But
Does it hurt to scout in advance and spend an extra day?
only if they're prepping something that would require that time. But I mean, I kind of doubt
It's already been 2 days anyway.
exactly. So that's why I doubt that would matter. And of course, there's the danger of getting caught naturally.
I don't have a problem with scouting. I want to make sure we understand what the goals of the scouting are so that we are in agreement on what's going to happen after the scouting happens.
Okay. So my thinking on the scouting would be essentially twofold. To scout out or attempt to identify if the forces we saw was essentially what's there or if there's more. To get an idea of what that looks like. And then also to scout up into that room to see what's there. See if it's obvious, like, oh, I saw the gems, they're there for sure. And to give us better strategic possibilities in terms of where we might be able to open the portal, right? If you scout down one of those halls and it is, and they've got like a barracks or living quarters, and we can come out in there right on top of them when they don't expect it, I think that gives us potentially a huge advantage.
Want to cast Fireball on ourselves?
What's that?
I don't want to cast Fireball on ourselves.
I mean, that's the danger. So if you guys think that is worth it, I mean, I think we should do it. If you guys just want to go in there and go whole hog and just let the chips fall where they may, I'm fine with that as well.
I think looking around is great.
Yeah, go scout.
All right. Where do you want to open the portal to?
Well, I would want to open it close to that intersection.
Which character is this?
I volunteered. If someone else wants to do it, that's more stealthy. I'm all for it, but it doesn't seem like there's a lot of appetite to do it.
I can't. Let me start there. I cannot do it.
I can make you real tiny too. I could just make you a bug.
No. First off, no. You're not polymorphing me.
First off, no.
I don't have dark vision. I would have to carry a light, at which point they will see it, at which point they will know I'm there. That
They
fails
can
at being
learn that
sneaky.
there is a third level infravision arcane spell they could learn, and it is castable on other people. I'm not actually saying you should do it, but I'm saying, you guys are at the level where you got options for stuff like this now. Just buy all the spells.
And that would be one way to get back into the poorhouse.
Fafnir ate some bad kielbasa last night, so he's going to sit this one out. Just so it's one less character to worry about. He'll man the gate on this side. I think most of you are manning the gate on this side, actually, but... All right, so what's going on here? It sounds like maybe Sven's going.
Yeah, I'll go for sure.
All right,
What spells are you putting on him?
I'm putting Fly and an advanced or whatever it's called, improved invisibility. Let me do that.
Lasts, not super long.
I'll put both invisibilities on him.
Okay.
Um,
Improved to last for. Oh wait, does that? Oh, that's not bad. That's 11 minutes for you.
fully armored. If I'm flying, what kind of noise can I expect?
Some. It is elven armor, which helps. But
We can cast silence on you too.
the downside there is you would not be able to cast spells yourself at that point, at least none with a verbal component. But you never cast spells anyway. You could also, they don't have to cast it on you, they could cast it on something you could toss away if
Yeah.
you needed to.
I should have a bag of silence rocks. That's a good idea.
They're not permanent though.
I know.
I mean, the problem with that is there's a difference between, depending upon how big the circle is. If I fly too close to them, I mean, you're going to notice that you can't hear anything, right?
That's a 15-foot radius.
Yeah, and then that means that I can't hear ambient sounds either, right?
Just take your armor off.
Oh yeah, that would be true.
I'm honestly considering it. What do you guys think? Should I consider taking my armor off?
Is it going to make noise?
Well, if
when
it
you fly
goes
around?
bad, I don't think the difference between you wearing the armor and not wearing the armor will save you.
Yeah, that's probably fair. Yeah, I'm going to take the armor off.
Okay.
Derek is loving it.
Well, he's gone. I'm gonna sell the armor.
All right, so obviously I'm the one that opens the portal. So the sequence is going to be I open the portal, I get the fly cast on me, I get the good invisibility, and then the lesser invisibility. Then I'm ready to go through.
How long do you want us to wait? And what do you want us to do?
I think it's a better plan if somebody else opens the portal. In case in 4 hours you don't come back and we have to close the portal or whatever the timeline is.
That requires someone else to step through and stand there waiting for him.
Yep.
That's true.
And again, if it's anywhere near where they are, it can't be Marlowe or Dodge because light.
Right.
So
I could spider climb up above the portal and be invisible.
if you're willing to do that, because my thinking is I'm going to go down the right hall first, then the left hall, then the center. If things are going well, I will have chalk, and I'll mark stuff as I have on the wall. Like I'll just put an X if I have, like if I feel like I've completed that, so you guys would at least know what wing I am down. And I would say the greater visibility is what, the 10 minutes? Was that about it?
Roughly, yeah.
Yeah. So I think at that point, feel free to consider checking it out. Certainly, if it's more than 20 minutes, I would say take a look. I might be right back if they do smell me and are trying to find me. So I can be back very quickly. All right. Any other thoughts? Any other ideas?
I'll come with you. I'll be brave.
All right. So you're going through first, and you're gonna just wait.
Right.
Okay. I will. I'll call out to you when I'm coming back through.
How many day are you gonna go?
I mean, we tend to do this stuff in the morning, don't we?
Are trolls nocturnal?
That's a great question. Yeah, what do we know about trolls?
Well, given that they live underground, who knows in this case? But they don't have a problem with the sun. Why does this map keep opening? Let's try. Oh, every time Hissing casts a spell. It's annoying. All right, I am spawning a ton of stuff in the dungeon. I'm going to ask you all to, once we start, just close your combat tracker, because I'm going to make everything, not everything, but a lot of stuff down there visible. So if he goes flying around, it'll show up. But the problem is it'll all show up in the combat tracker, whether or not you'd see it or not.
Well, so just a genuine question. Before you added tokens to the map, but not to the
That's true. I could probably just describe it. I'll do that. If that's where you were going.
Does someone else have night vision or whatever, infravision? Because I have a chance to fail opening this gate.
I do.
Oh yeah, you're a gnome. That's right.
Fafnir will bravely go through and.
No, he's not feeling good today.
Yeah, he's just
What is it?
Like that is Hank. So.
Okay.
Not saying you should.
What is the fail chance, Derek? Is it 15%?
I think it's 20 actually. I could double check if you want. It's in the gnome race description. All right, well, I'm still spawning all this stuff so that I can see what's where without having to pull open room description after room description. But I think I'm finally getting there.
All right, so refresher. I'm going down the right hall first, then the left hall, then the center. If at all possible, I will be marking with chalk just a small X to let you know if I've completed that hall.
Okay.
All right, you're gonna pull us into another room.
Let me see if I can open the gate or
It
not.
depends. No one else is really planning to come through for any reason, right?
I mean, they might after like 20 minutes.
Well, I thought the plan was just wait.
That's fine too. If you guys just want to wait, and Histon like gives up and comes back.
I mean, that was the question. How long are we waiting?
I'll wait 30 minutes.
That sounds fine. If I'm not back in 30 minutes, I mean, yeah. Send the rescue party, but you can do it tomorrow.
All right, I'm going to see if I can open this mirror.
I can certainly take him to another room, but I don't know. What do you guys prefer?
I feel like it's GM's choice. If you want them, if you are not concerned about them knowing what you're telling me and what happens, then we do it here. If you are concerned about that, then yeah, let's go to another room.
I'm not sure how long this will take. I don't know. I guess you're all on computers. You can keep yourselves entertained for a few minutes. So, okay, let's go to another room. Who is opening the portal?
I just did.
All right. And you didn't fail. Congratulations. Where are you trying to open it to?
I want to open it. I believe I want to open it in the middle of those two hallways or staircases, right?
Sure. You need another percentile roll now. One was to make sure you didn't blow it as a gnome. The other is just to successfully do it like
Oh.
anyone would.
Okay.
On the plus side, 85% chance. All right. So I'm going to add a gate. I'm going to give it party vision so that you all can see through it. Party vision. Gonna link the map. Holy cow, that's huge. Hopefully you guys can see out of it. I don't really know. It's probably completely dark, so maybe you can't actually.
I can see the purple throne,
Okay.
purple altar.
Yep. That sounds about right. And then
Cut off my
who's
necklace, by the way.
and then Histon's going through first.
Right.
What are you bringing with you? All your normal stuff?
Yeah, I am.
Okay.
I'm closing my locket before I go.
I'm gonna delete you off this map.
I guess I can just do that myself.
All right, you're normal invisible,
Right.
and you have spider climb,
Correct.
and you're just gonna go up to the ceiling.
I'm gonna go straight above as high as I can.
Okay. Cool. And then Sven's
Oops.
coming through.
Yeah.
And what does Sven have on him? Oh, let's unequip your sword so that your flame's not going.
Yeah, let me find it in my inventory.
Or I can just delete the light part of it, I guess. Because, I don't know, it's easier to unequip it, honestly. I will turn on your infravision, Histon. Maybe. Is it not working?
It's working.
You're seeing info? Okay, I don't see it for you, but if you see it, cool. Oh, there it goes. Wow. It's good range. And Sven should be having infravision right now too, right?
Correct.
My fantasy ground crashing.
Yeah, mine just did weird stuff too. Like crashing, or just slow?
It's not. Oh, there it goes. It caught back up.
Some of these lights just aren't working, I think. Which is a little weird. Okay, well, I'll just have to describe the places where lights are on because there's one set that just doesn't seem to be going, and they were last time you were here, so I'm not sure what that's about. Probably a bug somewhere. Anyway, all right. Histon invisibly goes through the portal. Sven follows, and I guess we'll go to another room. If anyone's like, "Hey, I don't know, come get us if you need us for something," I guess.
Yep.
All right. So you're both in here. I'll probably kick Adam out in a minute, but what right now you guys don't really see anything other than the glow down at the end. Actually, no, you do. You would see some trolls to the south, kind of on either side of that stairway there, and they just seem to be kind of like lounging around. like picking at some bones on the floor, gnawing on them. They look like they're on board guard duty. Al, are you here? I haven't heard you.
Yep, I'm here.
Okay. So I guess that's what you see, enemy-wise, at least.
Do they react to us at all?
Nope.
Okay.
You have no idea where Histon is right now. Histon, you're not even sure if Sven came through.
What did you say?
Histon's not even sure if Sven came through.
True.
All right. Al, are you going to start moving around? All right, I'm going to kick Adam out of here. I'll let you know, Adam, if you see something or hear something.
Okay.
All right. As you go around this corner, you see where all that bedding is. 4 trolls laying there. 2 of them are definitely asleep. The other 2 are just kind of like lounging around. None of them are on high alert or anything. The room itself, there's no lights in here. Big tapestry on the east wall, which shows a big battle between the forces of good and evil. You know, evil's winning. Looking down this way, as you come this way, you actually are starting to see bugbears, your favorite creatures. Sitting around, actually, let's see right now. You don't see many because of the time of day it is. So you see like 1 or 2 bugbears that look like they're... Come a little bit farther. Like scrubbing pots and stuff, probably down here. And also you see a ogre kind of standing around giving them orders. There's no lights in here. It's all dark, but they have all infravision too. So you do see where sometimes there would be fire. They would cook things, but right now they're not cooking anything. I don't know if you can tell with the infravision. There are doors here, 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 and there.
Okay. I assume they're all shut.
Yep. Coming down here, you see a bunch of bugbears in, come a little bit farther, in these bunks who are sleeping. It's like bunk beds in each one, so 2 bugbears per.
As 1 on each side or 2 per each side?
2 per each side. And let me double check. What are you carrying with you right now? Like, I don't care what's on your character sheet. I mean, what did you actually bring with you?
So I brought my backpack, the bag of holding,
Okay.
my like satchel, my fanny pack thing,
Okay.
my elven cloak, my elven boots, and then just normal clothes. Like I don't have my armor or my sword or anything with me.
Okay. Cool. All right. Anyway.
Same with these.
Yep. Feel free to keep moving.
I'm making notes, just so you know. I'm making notes.
That's cool.
I'm
That's cool.
That's why I'm going slow.
No problem. I did not know that, so good to know.
Yeah, I realized I didn't tell you. So and then here's Sam.
Yep.
So hold on a second. I'm sorry. How many doors did you say were in this room?
5. One of them opens, an ogre comes out, starts talking to the ogre who was kind of like over by the scrub pots and stuff. The other ogre shoos him away, and he goes back into the room and closes it. Briefly, you get a glimpse in there. It would be this room right here. It's a, you know what? I'm just going to open the door so you can see what you saw.
table and chairs.
Yep.
So it was just chilling out in a room with table and chairs. Was there anything else in there? Like people?
It's more like a bedroom type area. I don't think the map did it
Okay.
much justice there, but yeah, it's like
And then
living
here-
quarters. And here you see a few are sleeping. Let's see.
How many?
4, 3. And one of them looks he's wearing some bling. You get the sense maybe he's more important than the rest. He's also the one who's got, his bed away from everyone else. He's probably not actually asleep right now. He's probably like, I don't know.
And there's no doorway here. It's the hall.
Yeah, correct.
Okay. That was enough of that area.
I think so. Yep.
So I attempt to make a chalk mark of an X as quietly as possible here on the wall.
Yeah, not a problem.
Then I go over here.
Okay. Again, in here you see some 4 trolls sleeping on the bedding. Why are these lights not working? Oh, it is. You see a light down to the southwest, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay, cool. Some other lights aren't working. I don't know why, but that's fine. Again, paintings on the wall. Let's see. Here you see an Etten sleeping on the like a makeshift bed in here. Otherwise, it looks like a dining hall. There is a fireplace, which is where the light's coming from.
Sorry, makeshift bed. So like right where I'm at right now, this thing.
Yeah. There's a Etten sleeping on it right now.
Gotcha.
Also, the light is coming. There's a torch. Oh, I can't draw it right now. There's a torch here that's lit, and then there's a fireplace here that's lit. And then you got 2 doors off to the east there too.
Right, and then one on the north. So 3 doors in this room.
Yep.
All right, I'm gonna go up here. Oops. I'm gonna go up top first.
Okay. You see. Why are these so big? Oh, I screwed that up. Okay, there's 3 Ettins sleeping in here. There is a you do see treasure chest in here. Well, a chest. Could be a clothing chest.
How big?
Pretty big. You could fit yourself in there.
Okay. So definitely not something I could pick up and take.
No. And they'd see a treasure chest flying around.
Well, you said they were sleeping.
True.
I mean,
but-
others when I get to them that are awake.
Right.
What about down here?
Let's see. Fix my map. This room's actually got a torch that's almost burned out. There's true giants in here. Actually, it's not a torch. It's the fireplace there on the west wall. There's 2 giants in here. One's definitely asleep. You can hear him snoring. The other one's doing whatever the fuck giants do when they're awake, but not killing stuff. Probably playing with himself. I don't know.
So 2 giants.
You're a little racist, so all giants look the same to you, but one of them very well may be the one who you got a peek at a day or two ago at the bottom of the stairs.
I'm making X.
Probably around now. It's probably been close to 10 minutes, so like your improved invisibility might be running off. You still have your normal invisibility, just so you know.
Yep. Okay.
So this is going to be fun. I can tell you because Adam's not here. He's using spider climb, and he's on the ceiling, but it's got a duration of like 10 minutes. So I don't know what his long-term plan here was, but eventually that's going to drop his ass on the floor. So I'm going to deal with that in a minute or two.
Like, he wouldn't know that, or like he wouldn't.
I specifically told him that, and then he's like, "I'll spider climb in there." So I don't know.
Okay, fair enough.
I'm going to switch back to him in a minute. I'm going to be like, "It's been this long, Adam. You doing anything?" All right. These stairs go up. The hallway here is about level with the hallway that you guys had been in on the other side. I'm going to make a percentile roll for you.
Peeking in, I'm not entering yet. I'm definitely looking at the ceiling to see if anything's going on with the ceiling.
So the first thing that catches your eye is the big glowing purple curtain straight ahead. The ceiling here is 60 feet high, and it looks like there's a starry night sky overhead. The walls in here, just the entire chamber, are just like black. Yeah, I'm not sure what you can see. You can see a lot. Okay. Given that you yourself are flying, something you otherwise might not have noticed there are gargoyles perched on columns kind of around here, like up on here, kind of up on the walls here. They're like 50 feet up. You probably would not have noticed this from the ground. And there's you'd have to get in to count them, but there's more than a few.
When you say gargoyles, you don't mean like stone statues. You mean actual, like, they're definitely alive.
Hard to be sure. They're not moving right now, but that's your experience with gargoyles, is they sit perfectly still until they attack. So
going this far,
I'm assuming you would be assuming the worst right now. On either side of the altar are these big gold pillars that go. How high are they? Maybe I'm wrong. I think I'm thinking of the wrong thing. There's a big glowing purple. Oh, yeah. Flanking the altar are 2 large pillars of gold which reach to the ceiling far overhead. So we're talking 60 feet up gold pillars. There's a purple curtain that's like glowing and glistening behind the altar. It doesn't go all the way up to the ceiling, but it does go up to stone, which then goes up to the ceiling. The curtain itself is 20 feet wide, 10 feet tall.
I want to try and get an idea of how many gargoyles.
Okay, I will get back to you. Let me finish getting through the rest of this, just so I don't miss anything. Let's see. The walls near the curtain all have the elemental symbols drawn all over them. You are a magic user. As you come into here, you can feel underlying power you could tap into with your spells here. kind of as you move around the room, it changes what you're feeling.
Okay.
Okay.
What do I see?
Yeah, you see about as you're flying around looking, you count about 12 gargoyles. Down the hallway to your southeast.
Hold on one side, or is that total?
Total throughout the room.
Okay, yes, down the hall.
Yeah, actually. You see down that one, it just looks like a hallway.
I move slowly down the hallway.
All right. You keep going. Down here, you see, so the whole corridor is brown. It's kind of hard to tell with infrared vision, but you had a little bit of light as you started into it. Let me see if there's any light. Nope. Here you've got the symbol for Earth on the ground. And there's there's the magic circle on the floor that you can see there.
Yeah.
With the Earth symbol in it. You're definitely feeling some power coming from here.
Do I see any like gems or anything? I mean, I'm looking for the gem. Is the gem here?
You do not just see a gem hanging out.
Okay. I get. Wait a minute. Is this? Hold on. Is this top here? Is this like I'm not moving because my character is moving. I'm trying to determine if this is a wall at the top because it doesn't look like a wall. Like the bottom looks like a wall. Like I'm trying to determine if my light is not penetrating it, but there's more room. You know what I mean? Like I'm just.
Yeah, I know what you're saying. I think it's just badly drawn. LOS.
Okay,
Yeah,
so it is a straight wall. I just want to make sure that there's not.
Yep.
And no doors, correct?
Correct.
All right. And then I fly back out, and I want to check down this one.
This one, as you're going down, you see an Etten, kind of standing guard here. He's leaning against the wall, looking bored. But you can fly over his head. The ceiling here in these corridors is probably about 20 feet. He's roughly 12 feet tall, so, as long as you're hugging the top, you're good. This also has a magic circle on the floor. No gem. No doors.
But also for Earth?
Yep. And I'm going to save you some time as you go back and forth down the 8 hallways branching off here. The right side is unguarded on all 4, and it goes Earth. You can drag yourself through there real quick, but I'll just tell you what's there. Earth, water, and then fire. I'm sorry, Earth, wind, and then fire, and then water. And on the other sides are all guarded, and it's Earth, water, fire, and Earth, wind, fire.
Hold on.
Sorry.
Hold on. You broke up. You broke up, but just
okay. The one you're in now is fire. The one before it was wind, and the one you'll be going to next is water. They're all pretty similar. There's magic circles in the floor. It's got the symbols for whatever the element is.
Yeah.
The right side for all these is not guarded. The left sides are all guarded with Ettins. And it's pretty symmetrical. You'll see if you want to.
Total number of Ettins is 4 then down here?
Yep. I'm going to go. You drag yourself around a little bit. I'm going to go talk to Adam for a minute. Hey, Adam.
Yes.
It's been like 10 minutes or so. You doing anything?
Nope. Is
anything
anything happening?
You still in the ceiling?
Yep.
All right. I'm going to come back and ask you a question if you're doing anything in a minute, and let me know. In the meantime, read your spider climb spell description. All right. I just told Adam to read the spider climb spell description. I'm going to be back to him in a minute, so we'll see if he figures it out. Otherwise, maybe you'll be hearing something.
Well, I mean, I am not going to go back behind the curtain, so I'm heading out.
Okay. At this point, though, like, I got to deal with him like 10 minutes in the past from you, probably. So hold up for a minute.
Sure.
You've more or less completed and you're getting ready to exit, though?
Yeah, assuming he doesn't like do something crazy. My goal is to sort of whisper, leave, so that hopefully he hears it when I pass by and I'm gonna go through the portal.
God, Fantasy Grounds is. I'm going to delete all these things I put on there. I'm going to go talk to Adam for a minute.
And
Hey, Adam, what are
the
you doing?
wizard will find it virtually impossible to cast spells.
You're saying my spell is ending, huh?
I'm not saying anything. I'm just asking you what you're doing. It's been about 10 minutes.
I'm gonna come back down to the ground, so I
Okay.
don't fall on my face.
Okay. It would have been more fun if I'd just done it, I guess, but I figure
Someone
you're
would have known better, right?
That was my assumption. You're just going to be hanging out ground level then? Sitting there?
Yeah, right up against the wall next to the portal.
All right. I deleted the 500 things in the combat tracker and Fantasy Grounds is dying. I'm going to move Al back in here. I deleted the 500 monsters in the combat tracker that I had placed on there. It's not actually 500, but Fantasy Grounds is dying right now. We'll see if it recovers or not from this. It did. All right, cool. Sven's not back yet, but at this point, I don't think there's any reason to keep you guys separate.
Okay. I don't know how to tell if he is back.
Yep. At
I'm
one
just waiting.
point,
Go ahead.
you you're sitting here, Histon, and you see a giant walk right by this direction.
I can't tell. My Fantasy Grounds is crashing or stalling.
That would have been an awesome time for you to fall from the ceiling.
North or south?
Hold on, I'm just going to put one on the map.
You're just gonna have to describe it because I can't do anything right now.
Yeah, Fantasy Grounds is locked up quite well on our end
Uh,
for the moment.
It's probably the 5 million things I deleted.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, it's coming from the bottom of the stairs, coming from
Okay.
the same direction that came before.
Mm-hmm.
And it actually starts walking up the stairs right towards you.
Uh-oh.
Well, I mean, anywhere up the stairs is right towards you, right? Because you're up the stairs.
Does he look like he's gonna bump into me?
Depends.
I mean, I'm a pretty small dude, and I'm good at hiding in caves.
All right. What are you doing? Because you were probably standing by the portal. You just staying where you are, hoping for the best?
I'm gonna stand. I'm gonna go to the other side of the portal on the south side, so that if he does bump me, I'll fall towards the portal.
I see what you're saying.
I want to fall away from it.
Is your Fantasy Grounds working yet, or is it still crap?
Nope, it's still stuck.
Nah, it might be fucked.
Mine's responding at least, so
All right. Well, maybe it'll
give it
get
a
there.
moment more.
Nope. He ends up walking by you. You kind of press yourself to the wall.
Okay.
He goes up here. You can't hear what he's saying. He's talking to the two trolls. Comes back down the steps past you. Ends up walking off the other direction.
Funny, I can see. Oh, there it goes. It's working now.
Maybe about maybe about 3 minutes after that, you hear an elven voice say, "Get out."
He says, "What now?"
It says meow.
What is happening?
No. The voice just says, it's in a whisper. Leave.
Oh, does it sound like a familiar voice?
You know, it was elvish.
Okay. All right, I'm gonna give it.
I don't know. I mean, you guys honestly have probably only ever heard 200 words spoken by each other. So over the last
I'm
year,
gonna give it
Did,
30
did
seconds.
it sound
and I'll
like
leave.
Elvish in wraith form?
that'd be cool. All right, you guys have returned.
We're back.
Hooray!
Did
The
you
mirror
kill them
closes.
all?
You guys did see a giant walk by the mirror at one point, or at least a big leg.
Okay.
I got my headphones on. I'm walking away from the computer for a minute though, so talk amongst yourselves.
I'll be right back. I gotta go to the restroom.
So I made some notes.
Actually, just hold on. We'll just do a restroom break then.
Let's do a restroom break.
Okay.
It'd be cool to open the portal in the sky. I guess it'd still have to be like on the outside of a really tall building, and then cast flight on yourself. And then the people who came after you would just plummet to their death. Fun stuff.
I feel like if I hit 7th level as a mage and I got the fly spell, like all I'd be doing for the next month is memorizing fly and taking a month off adventuring and just flying for like 3 hours every day. Because that'd be fucking cool. I'd probably invest in the Featherfall spell though before that, just in case.
Okay. Tell me when we get the all return.
Waiting on 2. And now Sven knows exactly how many bugbears are left.
Where's the drawing thing?
I right click on the map and do drawing. And then enter drawing mode. There you're talking about?
No, it was like you brought up like a white canvas before,
I
and
can
we're
do
trying.
that. Yeah, hold on. That was just a map that had nothing on it. I like had to put you guys on it so you could see it, right? Or something dumb like that.
Yeah, I think something like that. Yeah.
There's gotta be a. You see where I wrote hi?
Yep.
Okay, then you're probably good. Oh, sorry. I hit clear. You can go ahead now.
Well, I was just testing to make sure you guys could see that. Is everyone back?
My thing went away, so I don't know. Eric, you there? I think we're waiting on Eric.
Go ahead and delete the pizza slide.
I want some. Hey, Adam, have you played it or paid? God damn, I can't talk. Played.
Okay.
Tainted
I'm
Grail,
back.
the
Sorry
board
about
game.
No.
Okay.
It's like a narrative-based game, right?
Sort of. Wow, I don't know what that is, but it looks cool. All right.
It wasn't-
So in the chat, I linked Image Blank, where apparently Sven is going to be drawing you a map. Wait, I remember drawing like this. It's the Amulet of Ra.
Probably butchering this because I'm just drawing it from memory, obviously.
Well, you know.
What are we looking at?
An approximation of the floor plan that I was able to see.
Where was the mirror?
The dot I just placed.
Oh. Where was the altar?
The dot I just placed.
Okay.
So I took some notes.
He uses
According-
18 intelligence and excellent memory.
20 intelligence.
Oh, wow. Damn.
To the right, I counted 4. Why the hell? My God. Okay. These notes suck. I'm an idiot. 4 trolls, 14 bugbear, and 5 ogre.
Okay.
There were also 5 doors that were shut. 1 opened and an ogre came out of it. So really 4 that I have no idea what might be in them because they were all shut. And then to the left, there was 4 troll, an Etten. Sorry, 4 Etten and 2 giants. And then 3 shut doors. None of those open, so I don't know what's in any of them. What I'll say is I'm making an X on the map right now on the right wing, the top area. That's where what appeared to be a more regaled ogre was, who was likely, at least to some degree, in command, or at least he was distinguishing versus the other ogre. And then so that was the right and the left areas. In the chamber with the altar, there was a purple curtain behind the altar that was giving the light off, the purple light. I did not look behind the curtain, but I did go down the different. There was, 8 different passages off of the that altar room, one for each element on each side. So on the right side, the bottom one, so this one that I'm putting the thing on now was earth. This was wind. This was fire. This was water. And then it mirrored on the other side. So earth, wind, fire, water. The difference between them was that the left side had guards. Each of them had an Etten in it. And then in the room itself, the altar room, there was 12 gargoyle statues that I don't know if they would animate or not. They were like very high up. I would not have seen them if I wasn't flying. They're like 50 feet up because the room itself was like 60 feet high, and the ceiling looked like a night sky.
Like you could see as if it was no ceiling.
Yeah, well, so I thought we decided we're doing
it was kind of the illusion of not illusion as in magical illusion, but like through very carefully placed gems
Aperture.
catching the light and stuff, it made it look like a night sky because all the walls were like pure black. The ceiling was pure black otherwise. But no, you didn't actually think it went out into open sky for real. It gave off that kind of optical illusion though.
I mean, we did this in the morning, so it's not like it was a accurate representation of what would likely be outside. I did not see the gems. That was basically the end of my notes.
Did anything react to your presence?
No.
When you said there were guards on the left-hand side, was the layout different?
No, it was like mirrored.
So do you think there were like maybe invisible guys on the other side?
I mean, could be, or it's just that the left side is important and the right isn't. I don't know. I mean, yeah, if there's stuff that was invisible, hard for me to know for sure. I didn't really get that impression. What I can tell you is I felt power in that room. I recall you, Histon, mentioning something about that in like the wind room. And I can only assume, because I didn't feel it then, I can only assume it was similar to probably what you felt then.
You felt power on the
Or-
guard.
No, like in the in this area, like in the altar room, just in general, like power that you could draw from.
Gotcha.
So yeah, and to reiterate, like the 5 doors were on the right, we're in this part right before the spokes off. Down here where the bugbear is, up here is where that chief guy was, where that X is that I got right there. And then on the left side, this part that I'm filling in is where the 3 doors were. And then there was like an area to the top and an area to the bottom that was, the top one had, I think it was, if I'm not mistaken, the top had Etten and the bottom had the 2 giants. And then Histon, you said you saw a giant. I'm guessing it was. I don't know if there's a third because I don't know how I would have missed him, but maybe I did. But my guess is it was one of the 2 giants that I saw.
So the rooms that were guarded, was there something in there with the people or with the?
So like I said, they were each for the different elements. And then was it an altar or what? How did you describe it again?
There's a magic circle inscribed on the floor with the element symbol inside the circle.
But as far as I could tell, or at least as far as it was described, it did not seem like the ones on the left were any different than the ones on the right, really. Like it was pretty mirror. It was set up like a mirror image, kind of.
Yep.
Just to clarify, when you say mirror, you mean the south room was the same on the left and the right?
Yes.
Okay. That's like a lot of dudes.
Yeah, it's kind of a lot. And the other bad part that I was looking at when I went in there is this area with here where they had that chief guy. This was just a hall. There was no door, so it's not like we could shut it and put a wizard lock on it or anything. All of the doors that I saw, except for one that got opened and an ogre came out of it, were all shut the entire time I was there. So it's hard to know for sure, what was in them or anything. But there was no. This was just a hall.
But on the plus side, you found the very last bugbears in the dungeon. Your quest to eradicate all bugbears could be complete.
They were mostly here, at the bottom part here. The bugbears were mostly bunking. There were sets of them. If I recall, some were in the main chamber of the right side, cooking.
Seems really hard to isolate these fights.
Yeah, I would agree. And we definitely don't want everything at once.
What if we put a silence at the hallway between the altar room and everything else, and then we took out these 4 guards, and then just poked around in there?
So we still might have to worry about the gargoyles.
That's true.
I don't know if they will animate or not. If anything, and I don't know if I would be able to scry, with all the magic. I don't know if there'll be interference. I'll be able to scry into the altar room or the sub rooms either. I mean, maybe. I don't know. But to me, I don't know. It feels like the best plans of attack would be to come out and directly assault the chief ogre guy. Hope he, causes them to lose some morale if we get him, or come out if we're able to in one of the guarded elemental rooms, just to see if we can, what can we see. But yeah, a silent spell could potentially be helpful.
Hank and Dodge have a lot to say about this.
I mean, I just go in and stab stuff. Whenever we decide what the plan is, that's what my part will be.
I mean, while it's possible that when we were there last time we didn't wait long enough for things from the far north section of rooms to come down, we didn't see anything come from the far north section of rooms. I would prefer trying to clear an area out rather than just hope we can show up past them and not have them show up after all.
Okay.
Um, yeah, I don't know. Silence up the hallway might keep them from knowing we're there. Maybe sure. That actually sounds like a perfectly valid idea to me.
That is one thing I would want to understand about the silence spell. Imagine so sound doesn't travel through it, correct? Meaning if you're on one side of the silence spell and then there's the silence spell. So like if you're looking at the map, like imagine this is a hallway. And if I'm standing here and here's where a silence spell is cast and something happens here, can I hear it through? Because I'm not in the silence area. This is not in the silence area, but it has to pass through the silence area. Do I hear it?
If it can fully block the intervening space, then no. But if it could even go like over top of it, then I guess in a lot of ways think of the silence as a big block of stone in terms of how sound might go around it.
Okay. Yeah, I think those halls were 20 feet high. Is that right?
They were pretty big. Like everything down there, giants would have no problem walking through. A few of them that, it might be a little close on the sides, but like height wise, it wasn't a problem.
How big does a silence cover space?
15-foot radius, so 30-foot diameter.
So we'd need a couple on the ground and a couple stuck to the ceiling if we wanted to.
I mean,
keep
it
the whole thing.
all depends what you're doing. Any sound that originates where you are isn't going to escape out of it, though, if you're inside the silence.
So the other option is I or someone, and this could even be you potentially, Dodge, because the drapes gave off light. Like, see if we can, if it's possible to open the mirror in the, and I'm saying we do this like tomorrow, in the altar room, if that's possible. And assuming it is, have someone check behind the drapes.
That's where the great evil that's down here was, not counting the one, whatever's behind the door. That's where the other great evil was down here that was fought 20 years ago, and it was fought to a standstill, so they left and collapsed hallways behind them. I especially don't like that plan if there is still magical energy flowing into that room. I would rather try to shut off whatever's going there first.
How big are the hallways to these guarded rooms?
Those were 20 feet high. I did not get I don't think Derek told me how wide they were.
Same as all
10
the
feet.
others.
Oh, let me measure. I think it's 10 feet. Yeah, it's 10 feet. Which, believe it or not, is enough space for a giant. I think the giants are actually only 14 feet tall.
So hypothetically, we could pop in one of these rooms, chuck a silence spell down the hall, dispose of the guard, and poke around. Or just stay in the silence spell.
Hypothetically, yeah. That could work.
Just slit one throat a night as they sleep. Eventually, they'll give up and leave.
Somebody know silence?
It's a cleric spell I can do.
I really don't want to fight 30 things.
Or does he?
When half of them are ettins and giants and whatever. That's my vote. Sneak into one of these rooms, slit the guard's throat, beat him down, whatever it takes, and then just look around.
I'm fine with either of the plans that have been proposed. Either we try and take out stuff in the, in the rooms where clearly they're quarters for all the bad shit, or we see what we can see in the earth rooms. I think we have to be careful in the rooms off the altar rooms, because we don't know how the power could manifest. Meaning, I don't know if it's going to make a spell go haywire or not if you cast something in there. Like, listen, you could, like, when you were in that, I think it was the air temple, and you said you felt power that you could draw from. I don't think you ever ended up casting in there, right? So, I mean, what if it causes a spell like the silence to go haywire in some way?
Wickle did.
Did she?
Mm-hmm.
And there was no difference in the spell? Was there?
There was.
I thought you ended up casting it without using a slot, or was
Yeah.
it that it was max power? One of the two.
I think it was the slot.
It was. Yes.
So nothing bad happened that time.
Ergo.
I pulled the trigger once and it was fine. Should be able to do it N more times.
I mean, I like both plans. I think they both can work. The only thing that gives me pause about trying to hit them somewhere in their living quarters is I think it's like they had trolls set up at the hall where we came down, guarding. I think it's pretty clear that they don't know that we can basically come at them from anywhere. And my only concern would be one of them gets away with that knowledge and is able to spread it around, and potentially they're more fortified when we would try to come back, right? Obviously, they're going to think something's up if we take out some of them and we have to leave because we're not able to take them all out, which I think is fairly likely. But that's the only thing that gives me pause is I like having the element of surprise, and I want to try and keep it as much as long as possible. And I think that potentially going to the altar room, since there's only one guard, it seems pretty likely we could take him out. I don't know. That feels a little bit safer. And obviously, when the guard is dead, they're going to realize something's up. But they don't know for sure how we did it.
I think the element of surprise is already. Well, I guess the element of surprise there is that we get behind them, right?
Yeah. We potentially come out right in the room with that main guy, but as soon as we're coming out of the wall, it's like we got to make sure anything that saw us does not leave that room. And then if we're forced to retreat and we go through the wall, well, then the gig is up. So maybe the best option would be, I did see in one of the rooms. So if we put the mirror in that room, there was one ogre in there. We could try and open the mirror in that room, and then at least we could potentially lock the door if we need to with a wizard lock to try and get out in a way where maybe they don't understand exactly how we escaped. Or it seemed like that was his quarters. What if we try and bring him back?
Well, if
and
there's
question
just
him about the
Come on.
gems.
A, ogres aren't that smart. B, if there was a room that just had one ogre in it, do we actually have? Our cleric said he can cast silence, right? Why wouldn't we just?
No,
cast
I think he said he had to learn it, but he could learn
The
it.
cleric doesn't learn anything; they know him.
Oh, okay. I didn't realize that.
My God, he'll give me anything I want, basically.
Yeah. Why don't we just drop silence on the ogre, beat him down real quick? If there's just one, that should be fine for the melee fighters. Leave or not as we choose at that point, but there's at least one less thing they didn't know about that died, right?
Yeah, I'm fine with that. Or I'm fine with coming in here, putting down a silence and just trying to kill as many of the bugbears as possible, because those were just all the bugbears. And I mean, yeah, the ogre one's probably better. It's probably a better approach. It's one thing. We can put in a silence. Be pretty sure that we've killed it. Question is, are we going to try and bring back the body so that maybe all there is blood in there and they don't even know what happened? Or are we just going to leave the body?
I'm fine either way. A dead body with no sign of where the people killed him from works just as well as anything else.
Yeah. Okay. Well, let's do that and see how it goes and go from there. Are we waiting a day to get spells back, or are we going to try and go today? I don't know if Histon has another silence. We're sorry.
I don't have any silence.
Yeah, I was
today.
gonna say the cleric. We have to wait a day.
Right. Okay. All right. That's the plan.
Histon, at one point, did you mention you have Wall of Acid?
Yes, sir.
Do you want to memorize one of those so in case it does spill outward, we can throw that across like the other hallway and hopefully keep them from coming to us?
Okay.
For at least a little bit.
Yep.
Use that as a form of crowd control, if nothing else.
All right. So Hank's going to try and learn the silence. Does it take just a day, or how long is it?
Yeah, I talked to Lathander. He said it's cool if I cast that. He's cool with it.
Okay. I would prefer if the GM confirmed that that's how.
And in the
Lathander does this.
in the application of what it is, he was for it.
Okay. So then that means
you actually have to run by what you're going to use them for? No.
so. You're going to have to go through first, right? You go.
It is a 15-foot radius. It lasts 2 rounds per level. But I don't know. I can cast it on a stone before we go in. Throw it.
I haven't
That's a
seen
good
that side of it.
I mean, I'm fine, Histon, with you just watching from the portal while we take care of the one guy, and then we decide what we're doing next. Like any of the casters that don't have a good melee. Like I think it would just be Marlo, me, Hank, and Stephen Dwarf going through and trying to take him out as quietly and as quickly as possible.
All right. What I'm going to suggest is, you know what? Actually, if you're just going for an ogre right now, we can do that now. Otherwise, I was going to say let's wait till Dave gets back. But honestly, if you're just shooting for one guy, I don't think that's an issue.
Well, I mean, it could branch out into more if we decide we want to do that.
Actually, yeah. Let's wait. Partially because I'm getting a really bad headache. I wouldn't mind stopping a little early as a result. Dave will be back next week. What? Let me check too. Was next week when you're out, Al, or was it 2 weeks from now?
2 weeks from tonight.
All right, and then July 4th, I posted there's not going to be any game that week. But
Yeah, because I'm going to be out of town as well. So
okay, we will probably play the week Al's out, unless someone else is out, though.
okay.
Also, 2 of you never answered the question, Al and Eric. But the other 3 did, so I'm probably leaning that way because they all said sure. About when Temple of Elemental Evil is over, restarting, doing Ardenvul level 1 characters. Doesn't mean these characters get deleted or anything, but
Was that in Discord or I didn't see.
It was a mix between general and the changes for Ardenvul.
Well, changes for Ardenvul I did like all last night, but
About the discussion started at 6. He said here in general.
the 7th
for you.
What I want to accomplish by doing it, well, first of all, I think Ardenvul is cool, but when this game started last year, it was basically, man, I haven't played D&D in forever, and I played 1 session on Roll20, and I was like, all right, this could actually work, playing online. But I mean, as you saw, there was no campaign world or anything. It was, here's my quick module first. All right, now I got to tack another one onto it. Now I'm tacking another one onto it. Ardenvul, I'm looking for more of a, you'd actually feel like there's a setting and it would make sense, and your characters would actually have some goals, like hopefully personal goals. Now, obviously, if we have a situation where everyone's sitting around not talking, like I don't care what the campaign is, nothing can fix that. But hopefully, I don't know, hopefully it would be more interesting from that perspective. Make you more interested in what's going on rather than the TOE, Temple of Elemental Evils, just kind of feels like random dungeon crawl in a lot of ways. So, I don't know. I'd be excited to do it. I don't mind continuing this one because I know you don't always get to play higher level guys. But the question was, I either have to start prepping Rapanathuk more, and if not that many people were like, yeah, I really love these characters anyway, then why not switch over to something that's probably going to be otherwise a better experience?
So did you want these as anonymous vote, or like did you want them
No.
to you?
I mean,
Okay.
if you want to be anonymous,
No. My thought is, like, yeah, let's finish the Temple of Elemental Evil, but
yeah,
I
that's definitely happening.
I would prefer to get some closure on Garmin, and either we save him or we don't. And then I would be open to that sort of a thing. But I'd kind of like to, we successfully saved Garmin or we didn't.
I think you're the only one. I think you're the only one at this point who cares about Garmin.
Didn't.
Yeah, if everyone else wants to not do that, it's cool in the gang.
And I had the most connection to him.
Technically, Dave.
You
did,
never
but
even
out of
played in
character.
a game with
yeah.
him.
Right.
Even Al played in a game with Garmin. as a
This
PC.
must have just been some other character named Garmin, clearly. Because this guy hadn't even heard of Rapnathic. And Garmin had been there, man.
Yep.
What kind of like lockdown house rule system changes are you thinking about if we start fresh?
Well, I did post way too much shit in the changes for Earn Rule thing. But basically, not a lot in house rules. The one I can think of is... And this
Not a
is
lot. Wait,
minor.
you're getting rid of thieves and pushing the
I might.
thief skills outward.
That'd be one. Most of these weren't really house rule changes. They were changes to the approach, like how you run stuff, right? Like maybe we're going to change the light rocks just to make it easier to deal with. I don't know if I'm going to get rid of thieves. I don't know if I can make it work. If someone's like, no, man, I love playing a thief, leave me the class, then fine. My thought was people often play thieves because they feel like the party needs one, and I'd like to get away from that. But if someone's like, no, I just really like a thief, then cool. We'll just keep it. It's fine.
Yeah. Very human-centric setting. So human, halfling, dwarf, high elf, and imperial goblin. But
Yep.
anything other than human, you better have a good reason for it.
Yeah, that's not really a house rule. It's just, narrower selection.
I do really like the idea of like just being a company that is presumably more or less out for money.
Yep. Yeah, my analogy there was more Malcolm Reynolds, less Buffy Summers. I want you to have your character have a reason for doing shit other than I'm here to... Well, okay, there's always I'm here to play the game and I want to go do something and not just fucking sit in the tavern all day. Like, obviously. But not just like, I'll go do that because I'm the good guy and that's where the adventure is. Like, I'm hoping that's not... This game, to be clear, that's kind of been it. It's like, oh, there's the temple. I guess we'll go check that out. The other one would be more like, here is a reason why your character would actually care. Although some of it would be, I just friggin' want money. Or fame. But there will also be, for lack of a better term, quests. Goals. Rewards. Bounties. Stuff like that. Some of these things aren't even really house rules. They're rules I hadn't been enforcing. Like capping your stats at the racial maximum. Actually using skills that we had kind of ignored. Coin weight. We've been using a house rule for that. So some of it's just like getting rid of house rules, honestly. But no, like overall rule changes, not really, unless we get rid of thief. That would be the big one. And again, I don't have to. It's I thought most people would actually prefer it. It'd be a way to do thiefy things without actually having to lock yourself into what basically amounts to pretty poor combat stats. And you certainly could play an elf or a dwarf. It's just, you'd have to have the understanding that you are definitely rare. But also other a weird phrasing for it. Other things could unlock as the campaign progresses. But certainly it's not a world where it makes sense that you just start out as a half ogre and there'd be any reason for it. Maybe at some point during the campaign, though, like based on what you guys discover and what's going on, like, yeah, maybe it makes sense. There could be a half orc, half ogre or whatever that join the party, something like that. But again, I don't even really think of that as house rules. I just think of that as not making every single thing available. Pixie fairies, for example, do not exist in the world.
Aww.
I guess one other one, but it's minor, is I was going to make it a little easier to get proficiency in multiple weapons if they're related. Which doesn't affect people too much, other than you don't feel like if you're a fighter who's specialized in longsword that's all you can friggin' do. That and like one other weapon. Maybe you can have a assortment of blades that you are proficient with, which then when you start finding magic things, it makes you feel less like, well, it wasn't a longsword, not even going to use it, or whatever.
So what's the cool thing about Arden Vool?
I don't know, man.
I've never heard of it.
Well, it only came out a year or two ago.
Oh, okay.
It's a really big dungeon. It's got a lot of the old school flavor. Whereas Rapanathuk's a lot more like I liked Rapanathuk, but it's a lot more high powered, over the top encounters in a lot of ways. Like one of them, you get to a room and there's a guy who's got a ring of teleport out there, and he's like teleporting you into lava pits and shit. But I mean, there's a lot of cool stuff in it. This one, Rapanathuk, you go level to level, and you're like, none of these really necessarily make sense all tied together. It's all kind of fun and it's all kind of interesting, but this one actually, a lot of it makes sense. At least what I've read so far. I haven't read all 1,200 pages of this. It in a lot of ways, it's a setting that happens to be a really big dungeon, and it's not just here's a bunch of cool encounters. I think
Sounds cool.
I hope it plays out that way anyway. Part of it is I just really want to get an actual like campaign setting going, so you actually feel like you know some NPCs and you actually care about what's going on, and there's a history to the world. And part of what you're going to be doing in the dungeon is actually like there will be lore involved, which I like. I don't know. Everybody else might say fuck that, but like there are actually things to learn about the world and what's going on and stuff, which is I think is cool.
Like a lot.
Guys, one other thing I just remembered, in case it changes your vote on what we do. If you're looking at the map I drew right now, where I'm putting the box on the left side right here, there was a treasure chest.
There was.
So I was going to try and fly it out of there, but it was kind of biggish.
It was big.
I could go into it.
It was an Etten-sized treasure. Well, not the size of an Etten, but
Where is it?
treasure chest for Ettens.
Here.
Left of the guard area.
Gotcha.
Yeah, right there.
We got to get that.
Yeah, I mean that would be one place where we could potentially try and begin our assault, if that was a priority we felt. But so just think about that.